guys, I'm car vlogging. It's Thursday, and that's the day that I normally always pick to come down to the building instead of work from home. I go into the building at least once a week, sometimes more, just depending on what's going on. But it's just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of felt like car vlogging a little bit. It's really kind of a weird day today. When I went into work this morning, it was very thunderstormy, you know, lightning, thunder, the whole thing. And I don't have a problem driving in the rain, so that didn't bother me so much. And it was really cold. It was like in the upper 30s, lower 40s. Well then, so I had a jacket on and everything. And then during the day, I'm usually just, you know, working away. I don't pay much attention to the weather or anything. I'm just doing my job. I don't go outside for lunch or anything until the weather starts getting nicer, and then I'll go walk. But today was kind of busy, so I stayed in all day. Well, anyway, came time to leave. Put on my jacket, went outside, and oh my God, it was hot. I had to take my jacket off. It is like so humid, just the walk from the building to my car. It's like my face got all shiny from the humidity. And I looked on my phone, and it's like 75 degrees. So the temperature just really went crazy. Well, then I also noticed on my phone, I have this thing called Storm Shield that will alert you when there's storms, and it doesn't make any sound or anything when it's just a watch, but then when it's a warning, it makes a really obnoxious sound, so you'll hear it. Well, there's a tornado watch, and it's like, well, I can see why, you know, going those extreme temperature changes like that, and it's just so humid and the air is so heavy. And just looking at the sky and everything, it's like, I feel a little strange, and I thought, maybe I'll just car vlog. I know you're not here right now to comfort me, but I have a kind of a long drive into the building. It's close to 40 miles each way. And man, people just drive crazy. I really don't miss having to go into the office every single day. I do immensely miss actually working together with people and a team, because I used to manage associates and was in a department that had like 30 some odd people in it, and I managed about 10 of them, and you know, it was a nice camaraderie that we had and a nice team and everything. And now it's just me. I mean, where I sit, there are some desks for people that just come in periodically, you know, just like maybe once a month. I have my own personal permanent workstation, and then there's a couple of other desks, but it's just like tech people that work there. They're like contractors. They're not even really employees of the same company I work for. So going down to the building is such a huge difference than what it used to be. You know, there's nobody in the hallways, there's nobody in the break rooms. As a matter of fact, when they consolidated a bunch of the departments out of that building, they even took out the pop machines and the coffee machines and all the, you know, all that stuff. So it's like you feel like a little orphan in there. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm extremely grateful to have a job, because all those other people got let go. You know, there's one other person that was in my department that they kept, plus me, and he's somebody that works from home permanently. He comes in once a month, so I do get to see one of my prior teammates, and then we try to get together here and there. You know, the rest of my team, we've gotten together a few times for dinner since everybody got laid off, and everybody has, you know, since found other jobs, but it's really kind of a lonely existence. You know, I'm not complaining. I really am not complaining, because there's parts of it that I really love. I mean, who wouldn't love working from home 3 to 4 days a week? You know, I get to spend time with my dog. You know, I have like he usually is sitting next to me on a pillow or in his bed. You know, he's just always right there with me. And that's nice. And, you know, then I can get up and make coffee anytime I want. And, you know, there's a lot of flexibility to working from home, you know, when it comes to things like, you know, the coffee and when you get dressed. You know, I do get dressed every single day. I didn't want to let myself get into, even though sometimes I don't get dressed till like 9 or 10 o'clock, I do at least get dressed every day. Most days I'll put makeup on. You know, I mean, there's been a couple days or a few days where I almost forget to brush my teeth even. It's like, you know, I'm sitting there I'm working, and then it gets like I'm done with my coffee and everything, and I'm thinking, damn, I need to brush my teeth, get dressed, do all that. So, but you know, I do try to make a point to get dressed and everything. And like when I come down to the building, the department we used to be in, I don't sit anywhere near where that was. Well, I'm not kidding you, our last day was a Friday. By that Monday, I went into the building and they had cleared out. And it wasn't just, let me back up, it wasn't just our department, it was several other departments in this great big room. So probably at least 100 people in there, you know, with the cubicles and everything. Well, when I went in there on that, and all of the departments got moved to other places in the United States, and some not in the United States, but I'm not going to go into that because that's a sore subject for me. But anyway, that Monday, all the cubicles were gone. They had taken all the cubicles down, all the things that were hanging on the walls, just everything was gone. It was just shocking. You know, I went over there to think, oh, I'm going to go look at my old desk, or I don't know, I was feeling really sentimental. And, you know, for several weeks afterwards, I was just constantly sad when I would go into the building. And there are still days now when I go into the building and I can picture, you know, when the halls were full, and it's just, you know, it's still kind of lonely there. So I mean, at least at home, I've got my dog, and then of course my kids and my husband come home from school and work. And, you know, out there I just don't really have a whole lot of, ooh, somebody's getting pulled over. I don't have a lot of people to talk to there. Really just those two guys that are contractors. They're like computer people. They'll talk to me every once in a while when they're in the office and not busy at other locations. But, man, it's like getting like lighter as I get closer to home. Yeah, that police officer felt the need to turn his siren on very briefly there. I don't know if the guy he was trying to pull over, or a lady, it could be, I didn't see who was driving, didn't realize they were getting pulled over, and he had to give them a little warning. The weird thing about this route to work is they built this, used to I had to go like the highway the whole way, or like the interstate, and it was more miles. Well, then there's this one road that over several years they ended up making it to where you can really go this, I only have to get on like two roads all the way to work, you know, major ones, but it's got 3 lights, and some days I get through without having to stop at any of them, and some of them I have to stop at every single light. But no matter what, it's still like 7 miles less than what it used to be. Plus the speed limit's a little lower. And even though the speed limit's lower, I still get home quicker this way. So, I mean, people bitch about the lights, but I'll take the lights and save the gas that I save from driving a little slower and less miles. Well, and plus, obviously, I'm not driving into work 5 days a week now, so I'm saving on the gas, although I end up finding other things to buy, which I really need to stop. I need to make an effort to just quit buying clothes or just any of that stuff. I have enough. I don't need any more. And even like as I'm losing weight, I have smaller clothes in the attic, so I'm going to get up there and see what I have, because I'm just not real comfortable that I'm going to have a job forever. Or not forever, but long term, I guess. I don't know. Some days I just wonder, you know, when's the hatchet gonna come? I don't think I'm ever gonna feel comfortable. I don't know. June, I will have been with this company 25 years, and I've been through, this past layoff was my third one, and every time, the other two I found jobs within the bank, but now there's like nothing, hardly nothing left. And so that's why my manager and everybody are in Delaware and I'm in Missouri. And right now they kind of need me because of activities that are going on. But it's like, once all this is over, are they gonna need me? And I just worry about that. But sometimes I worry so much it makes me want to shop, which is so stupid. I should be saving. So I took I'm one of those people that when I use a credit card, I always pay the balance off. So I mean, I'm not like in some huge debt or anything, but I would rather have more in savings, you know, just to kind of, I don't know, help not be so worried. And if I do get let go, I will get severance. That was part of when they asked me to stay. First, they kept me temporarily, like a 6-month extension. And I knew that my manager was going to try to keep me longer. She wanted me to stay permanently. And then finally, the upper management came down. You know, she made a really good business case for keeping me, and, you know, had outlined what all of my responsibilities were going to be and everything. And, you know, because they want to make sure that I have a full day of work and everything. And so finally she came and offered me a permanent position. And so at that time I had told her, well, does this mean in the future if you should decide you don't need me and you have to let me go, will I still get my severance package, which I would have gotten if I went with the rest of the people? And she assured me that I would. And of course I got it in writing. But I mean, the company I work for doesn't operate that way, where they don't do severance when they let people go, unless it's for something, you know, unless you're fired for something you did wrong. Man, the traffic is going so slow. Oh, I see. There's like lights up above, up there. I wonder if I'm gonna have to get over. I don't know. I'm gonna get over just in case. Oh, what a nice person. I love nice drivers. You know, I always try to do that. Let people over. You know, what harm is it on you? And I do that with semi-trucks too, because sometimes people are dicks. I can't think of a better word. You know, they just, I don't know. They're just mean, and it doesn't hurt you to let somebody over. Now, those people, when you know there's construction ahead, and there's signs for miles ahead of time, and then there's people that wait till the very last minute, I'm not so nice to them. You know, they know better. They know they should have got over a long time ago. So I don't have any sympathy for them. Or the people that you are sitting like at an intersection at a light, and there's people that will actually drive on the shoulder of the road to get up there because they're going to be turning. That's dangerous. And I don't know about, you know, the states that you're in, but in Missouri it is not legal for a motorcyclist to weave in and out of the cars, you know, like go up the center line or whatever. I think it is legal in California, or at least it was when I visited my sister when she lived in West Covina, because about peed my pants when a motorcyclist like came up right along the side of my car when we were sitting in traffic, and it scared me half to death. But that's not legal here, but you'll still see people doing it occasionally, and that always really scares me, because I always think, well, great, you know, what if they wreck and you accidentally run over them or something? I mean, it's their fault, but they still have a family, you know. It's like sometimes you don't worry so much about the idiot, but you worry about their family, you know. Everybody has somebody that loves them, and I wouldn't want to put that kind of hurt on their family. So it's getting dark again up ahead, I can see. I don't know, I was just really shocked at how warm it was, and like uncomfortably humid. It feels like August, the humidity, it's crazy. That's worrisome. I mean, I don't sit and worry about tornadoes, you know, twist my hands about them and stuff. I do, you know, because we're entering tornado season right now for Missouri and, you know, the Midwest, and there already was a tornado yesterday in a city towards St. Louis called University City, which I don't really know exactly where that is, but it's over towards St. Louis, and St. Louis is on the other side of the state, about 4 hours, about 300 and some miles away from where I am. So, you know, we've already had that. Whoa! There was a big gust of wind. It just blew my car. I used to drive a minivan up until last year. After I got found out they were keeping me permanently, I went ahead and I have a Chrysler 200. Before that, I had a station wagon, like a little Escort station wagon, and, you know, so a mom mobile. And then right after that, I had a Dodge Caravan, you know, because we had the 2 boys, and I figured that way we could truck around them and their friends and have room for, you know, the 4 of us wanted to do something with the grandparents and things like that. And both cars, we're the kind of people that, I mean, we drive the cars for like 10 years. You know, we'll drive them, we'll pay them off, and we'll drive them until they're about done. But I wanted to get something that wasn't a mom mobile. I was tired of the vans and the station wagons, and so I got this Chrysler 200, and it's kind of a red, like a maroonish red color, so I feel kind of badass in it. I really love it. But anyway, that gust of wind made me think of the van, because that thing sometimes when it was really windy would whip you all over the place. Which, you know, on days when it's windy, I make sure I drive with 2 hands and all that, so. But anyway, I don't know, I just kind of felt like vlogging a little bit when I got out and felt that weather, and then realized there was a tornado watch. I don't know what's gonna become of that. I hope nothing, because the house we live in doesn't have a basement. It's when we bought our house, there was only like 3 houses in the whole subdivision without a basement, and that's because all underneath our house is bedrock, and which is good because it has excellent drainage, you know, like when it rains and everything, the yard doesn't flood. What's bad about it is when you want to plant a tree. We found out the hard way. We broke 2 shovels and had to buy a pickaxe, and it took us 10 hours to plant a tree. But that's kind of crazy. But so we don't have a basement, but we go into we do have an interior hallway that's separated by several walls, and that's what they tell you to do if you don't have a basement. And so anytime we've ever had tornado warnings where the sirens go off, we just all huddle in the hallway, you know, grab blankets to put over us and get the dog and huddle in the hallway and just kind of turn the TV up loud so we can hear, you know, when the threat has passed. And that's happened a few times since we've lived in our house. There's never actually been a tornado really too terribly close to our house. So when we bought our house, we were just thinking about, you know, what the odds of a tornado were. And at the time, that's what we could afford. And in hindsight, I'm really glad we did what we did, because, you know, when the mortgage industry, where the rates went low several years ago, we refinanced and got a lower rate, and we were able to pay our house off when we were 42 years old. So not a whole lot of people have a house paid off at the age of 42. So, you know, we're pretty proud of that, because when we first bought it, I think we were 24 and had the 30-year mortgage, and then we refinanced at a 15-year mortgage, and then we ended up doing a few of those where they say to make like an extra payment a year, and that really does cut down on the amount of interest you pay and everything. So we did that when we could. There wasn't a whole lot of times we did that, but basically we just decided, you know, our house isn't huge. I don't have some huge house. It's just a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage. It's got a nice yard. It's in a subdivision. You know, we could go into debt and buy a bigger house and stuff, but the way we feel, once our kids move out, that house will be the perfect size. It's all on one level. We don't have stairs or anything. So, you know, and we'd kind of like to go on trips and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad. I mean, it worked out well, because, you know, I thought I was losing my job. My husband's had some work-related transitions, so it's worked out well to not have that house payment. So, how long have I been talking? 20 minutes? Well, I don't want to bore you. Sometimes I'm afraid that I'm bored or boring. I just don't have that much of an exciting life. I did try the Addy out, and I actually yesterday evening made 2 hats in like an hour. It was really cool, and I'm going to try to, I don't know if I will tonight, but maybe tonight or tomorrow night make 1 more, and then I'll show those to you on my weekly vlog. I really like the Addy. It's really nice. I mean, my arm gets a little tired cranking it, but I think that's just my positioning. So I'll have to work on that. But I really was thankful for Margaret and Pam and the videos they had. And I know Pam's weren't, she said they weren't tutorials like how to cast on. She was just kind of showing us the first time she used her Addy. But that was a big help to me. And Margaret seeing how to cast off and everything, and just, you know, sometimes you don't really need a full tutorial. But nobody has as good a banter as Pam does. Well, yeah, actually a lot of people do. All the people I'm subscribed to have a really good, I like. Of course, if I didn't, I wouldn't subscribe to them, right? So, it's getting dark again. I'm getting a little closer to where I live, and it's much windier. It's supposed to thunderstorm some more, so I just would really actually like to be home and in the garage before any hail happens. That would be the worst if my car, that to me is still relatively new, I mean, it's a little over a year old, to get hail damage, I would probably bawl like a baby. But they said that chance was like slight, because I was watching the weather this morning trying to decide if I should change the day that I went down to the building. But pretty much this whole week has been chances of thunderstorms, and yesterday it rained a good part of the day, and then this morning was pretty heavy rain. Not as heavy as yesterday. And yesterday it hailed a little bit, but it was this tiniest, it almost looked like little like sleet. It was such tiny little hail. But traffic's getting, man, it's getting windier the closer I get to home. The other day it was so windy I had some chimes in the backyard, and they're all over the backyard. It just blew them to smithereens. Still haven't found all the pieces. But I had left them out all winter, so they probably were pretty weak. You know how they just are hooked together with string, or these ones were. They were the kind that were like the graduated bells. So I think I've run out of things to talk about. Just hopefully keep your fingers crossed that we don't get any tornadoes, any of us or any of you that are anywhere that gets tornadoes. And it's just the beginning of the season, and just have more of this to think about. I always feel better once I'm at home and I have my family all together. And you know, this time of year we'll get tons and tons of watches. I mean, to the point where sometimes you're a little desensitized to it. But today it kind of the vast temperature difference and how humid it is really, and still outside when I first came out, and now all of a sudden the wind is like blowing my car across the road. That's kind of got me a little concerned. So anyway, I will let you go. I'm gonna keep driving to work, or to home, and then I will upload this as soon as I can. It's on my iPhone, so that takes a little bit longer, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!